What's up, WWE Champions Universe? This is Lee from Champions Chat, and this is your breakdown for Bron Breakker, Bone Breakker, which I love. Like, it's low-hanging fruit that they named him Bone Breakker when his name was already Bron Breakker, but I like it. I think that's the best possible name they could have gone for with him. He's got the old-school zombie animation from the Year 1 version, the KO zombie, if you remember when he was freshly rotten in the game. And so far, I've had some struggles because I was recording this on stream and totally didn't hit record, so you missed all the mistakes I made. Now I'm going to try, because you can see right here, mistakes were made. I'm going to try and fix those for you. So here's what we're doing with Bron Breakker. So he is a modern era trickster that is aggressive, which makes sense. He should be aggressive. He has links with Zombies and Year of the Zombies, which both of these are phenomenal. It's a defensive version where your opponent's MP starts with 2 less, or a aggressive version where you get 5 more MP. Either way, I love those abilities. What I don't love as much is his coaching ability. Trap gems do 125% more damage, which would be fine if Sheamus's wasn't trap gems do 100% more damage, so it's just like a little tiny tap up, or if it wasn't that Pentas do 150% more damage plus 1 more trap gem. Like, they're all so samey. I don't like them. I do like the explanation behind why they did them, though, which is basically that way you don't have different color combinations that are the most important trainers in the game, and most players in the game don't get the higher level zombies each year. So I like the reasoning why they didn't put them on there. I don't like the training abilities, or entourage abilities. But speaking of things I don't like, this first moveset has not worked out well for me. But it is a very valid moveset for him, so we're going to run through it, and then we'll get to some other things here in just a moment. So the first one is the 6 MP red Delayed Inevitable Suplex. Deal damage, choose 9 gems to make purple. Then, just kind of like Sheamus, you use that move to load these other ones. You've got the Oblongata Slam. Deal damage, and make 15 random gems into trap gems. If you break them, you steal 1,000,000 health each. If they break them, then it turns them into botch gems. And also, if you go up against a technician, your red gem damage goes up by 100%. So there's a lot of ifs in that one. Then you've got the Bloody Belly Suplex. 10 MP purple, deal damage, make 14 random gems into blast gems, then deal a finisher, does 1,000,000 damage, and turns the board red. You could also, and maybe at this point feel like you should, use the Shambling Clothesline, which is 3.1 million bleed damage for 3 turns, but functionally that's 12 to 13 million. This is going to be a 15 million hit, so this is better, and this helps you, so that's the thinking. On the Entourage, join FunFest too. On the Entourage, you're going to want anybody who does your red MP. There's 3 choices. Plus Davy Boy for red gems do 45% more damage. Red moves start with 2. Then you go blast and red gem damage. Maybe red gem damage even more as a focus. Who knows? But blast gems do 100% more damage, and then with that Sammy. And then red gems do 30. Blast gems do 60 with Zombie Priest. It hasn't worked out well with this combination. The original Titan plate, the Heroic Titan's Crest, would be my recommendation here. Whenever you make 6 or more blast gems, increase all your gem damage by 200%. This used to be the best plate in the game, by the way. We will get to the Frankie the Parrot plate. Doesn't fix him, surprisingly. But whatever. We're going to go in here. Make sure that you go, if you're testing him out, make sure you don't go up against Zombie Sammy, because trap gems, and I got whooped, which you should. Zombie Sammy is still one of the best zombies in the game. For sake of not getting whooped again, I'm not going to run this move right away. But here's what you need to do. You would need to use it to make the entire row or column plus 2, which would make 10, into purple, which is then going to load this move. If you don't do that, you can't load this move turn 1 outside of 99 MP, and you are going to cascade because it's inevitable. That's why that word's right there, that you're going to cascade. Papa Pump's going to sub me if I do that, so I just want to show you what the moveset actually does real quick. You get the idea of loading the move with either a 5 and a 3 match or doing the 9 match that's there. So you go with the trap gems, you got the blast gems, and you make the whole board red. If you go up against Technician, your red is buffed. So you have multiple different streams of damage, but as you can see, even with 150% strap and all the right things, except Frankie, you're doing like 20-something million. It's just not much. It is hype level 0. Yours will hit harder, all that kind of stuff, but it's just not that much. So what are you going to do? Well, you can add the Frankie the Titan plate, or Frankie the Bird on there. That's what we're going to do, just to see it. But spoilers, it really doesn't solve his problems. Also spoilers, in the version of this video I screwed up. I did the blasting off again, and the blast gems, the way they fall in the finisher, resolve before the multi-gems. So your multi-gems actually drop after the board is broken, and it just doesn't work. So I don't know if that's a glitch that Scopely needs to look at, but either way, same thing. I'm not going to show you how to load it because you get the idea. 5 in a 3 match or 9 consecutive, like that way plus that way, which technically is 9. I said 10 earlier. So now we're going to do it this way. We're going to drop the trap gems. You can't see what it's going to buff it by because you're going to throw down the 14 and then blow up the board. But if you happen to have a Frankie plate, I mean, I wouldn't put it on him, but just my initial impressions so far. That did 29 million. So really only added, for a 500% increase on all color gems, it only added 7 million damage. That seems off. I don't know. Maybe Zandel's right. It's because it's a combo move on that it also doesn't trigger Frankie, but it should. Either way, pretty underwhelming start. Let's see what another moveset looks like. We've got to at this point. All right, his second moveset, I wish I could say, was so much better than the first that it's not even funny. But it's funny how bad it is, actually. So I spent way too long on chat trying to figure out what this moveset was going to be for us, and quite frankly, it's still not great. But it is what it is. So we're going to look at it. So I actually have the moves reversed. I would be doing the delayed inevitable suplex, deal damage, choose 9 gems to make purple. The shambling clothesline, deal damage, plus 3.1 million bleed damage to your opponent. And then also, if they're defensive, you do another 3.1 million damage for 3 turns each. And then you do the cadaver clutch, which is a red submission that deals damage, and then the remaining turn into botch gems. On your entourage, we went and looked, but nobody could tell me, and we didn't find them. Somebody who has red MP plus bleed. There's lots of other colors plus bleed. Why couldn't Sheamus be red MP plus bleed? That would have been a much better use of his training entourage ability than being the same one but worse than this guy's. I don't know. This month's confusing me in my brain. But this will at least get you started on your red moves turn 1. And then if you've got him, Ray Phoenix, 100% more bleed. King Woods, 50% more bleed. I would put Apollo right here, but then you can't start loaded turn 1. You could in Tours, which is probably the only place you're going to use this guy. But, yeah, you do that right there, and you're good. Now you're doing 7.75 million bleed for 3 turns, which is a tickle and a half. I also forgot you actually can do... wait, is it make purple or make red? It's make purple. So if you do the... try again. If you do the break purple, get red plate, you can actually get your bleed to go off twice. So we at least have that. Let's try it. With the Bronner, it feels like you need to put traps and color, then break only blast with a match. Yeah, well, I mean, his finisher does the... His finisher breaks all the entire board. Oh, yeah. I absolutely agree. Sheamus is way better than Braun. This Braun so far has been terrible. Anyway, so you would start loaded with your bleed. So I would put the bleed down on him. And then we're going to need to do a 5 and a 3 match, the old-fashioned way of purple gems, which will then trigger the plate twice, which should bring you back to the red move, right? I hope. So let's see if we do... No, that's going to cause problems. So let's do that. That's really unfortunate placement on these, actually. That's unfortunate placement, but we can at least get rid of that. Hopefully that doesn't cause problems. And then do a 3. Whatever. We're going to see it happen. All right, so there's 1. That buffs you there. 2, don't cascade. Ha! We got it. Now you can throw down his bleed twice, which is still okay. I mean, it's not doing a terrible ton here, but like 7.75. So now it's 15 million times 3, so it's 45 million, and you're going to sub him, and then you just use the sub to refill your red. And that's how this one works. Go team. Now you're going to sub him. As you're subbing him, he's bleeding. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. Like, I mean, it works. It works. But I wouldn't say that it's phenomenal at this point. But that's the best I've seen him do, and that's probably the way you need to run him. So, yeah. All right. Let's check out his Titan build. All right, the last moveset for Bron is the one that if they release a black Sheik plate will probably be his best fighting moveset, because right now he doesn't really have one. The bleed one's close. It's deep. If you go up against defensive, it would actually work very well, but it's very conditional on that side of it. So this is his Titan build. Like we're fighting the Titan battles, right? That's what they're called, right? Titan battles. Yeah. And so this is the build that, like, as you keep using him in a longer match, he starts hitting harder and harder and harder and harder. So here's how we're doing it. Dr. Frankensteiner, I like that. 6 MP black, deal damage, choose 10 gems to make into black gems. And it's also the reversal that's the same as Sheamus's. This is 5 million damage that you deal to them if they sub you, and then you do 40 million bleed damage, unless they made it for 3 turns. Nope, they didn't. So, yep, same exact thing. Zombie attack, which I love that they always have a move named Zombie attack each year. I think that's fun. 8 MP black, deal damage. Generate 30 random sub gems that will deal damage for 3 turns. The remaining turn into silence. And then you have 12 feet under finisher. Deal 3 million damage plus 7 million bonus damage for every player turn that the turn has passed. And then it goes up for 10 turns. So it's like 7 million the first turn, then it's 14 the second, and there's 28. You know, it just kind of keeps going. No, it's not 28 because that would be doubling. 21. Either way, you get the idea with it. It just keeps building as you go. Again, the biggest problem, though, is he doesn't have a Sheik plate, a black Sheik plate. But anyway, you want to get your black moves started loaded with turn 1 here and EO. So you need both Woods and EO, plus EO is going to give you black moves that deal damage to 100% more damage. You've got Lita for black finishers do 50% more damage, and Ted DiBiase for all black moves do 40% more damage, which means by the time you get here, that's actually 12 million damage, and what? Huh, interesting. By the time you get here, you get 8.7 million damage per turn, plus your bonus that you get for the Titan effect on it. You're not going to use this in tours. You're not going to use him at all in feud, I guarantee it. At least unless they change him or add a plate or something gear, something that fixes him. But this is going to be your Titan build, because you get this right here, and you're right now with your bonus on your plates, which I forgot to show. Sorry about that. There's not a plate that would work, but the strap, I do have a 250% black move damage metal on the strap. So you're at 23 million right now, but it doesn't increase. So you get the 23 plus the 7 is 30, whatever. So you're going to start with 6. You need to get 2 more to get to 8, and you need 3 more to get to 10 with the turn bonus, plus you're going to do the sub. So basically, if you just do a match, just a gem match, you're going to be fine. But, I mean, you're probably risking cascading anyway, you might as well do something else. You can. You could throw down more. If he subs you, it's not going to hurt you, so it's fine. It's fine. Then we're going to throw down the whole board into silence. Theoretically, you could do a silence plate on here, but you're not breaking gems after it, so it's not like something you really want to focus on. You could use one of the silence plates. I wouldn't. Anyway, and then you're doing your 30 million right here. So lacking a black move damage increases the way the Sheik plate does. Plate, you're doing about 40 something million damage, 50 million maybe overall. So it's not bad damage, even without being on against a Titan. And the longer you do it, the more it's going to hit, the harder it's going to hit. So from that side of things, it's got a function and a purpose. We just haven't seen it yet. So what do I think about Bron Breakker? Right now, I'm extraordinarily underwhelmed by him. He's not one that I will use, aside from when I have to, even this month, is kind of where I'm at with it. The bleed damage is okay, but I'm not going to use him as my bleed damage guy. I mean, I don't know, I guess I might, because my other bleed people are females, 3 of them, but the bleed damage build was okay. If you target defensive, you're going to be fine. I just don't play the game thinking about that enough. Like, I don't go in there going, ooh, who's defensive? Okay, now I use Bron Breakker. It's just not the way I do it. So it is what it is that way, but it's fine. So I personally might use him in Titan. If it turns out that that's where his focus is, then I'm okay with that. Like, I don't mind him being a specialist towards a very specific mode. Overall, I'm just not impressed. Gotta be honest. That's what I feel. That's it for this one. I'll see you on the next one. And hopefully Penta's far and away better. Yeah, bye.